Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Today we're going to talk about the proper way to grip the bat. There's a lot of information out there. It's one of the first things that coaches will kind of get on players about, especially at younger levels. So I want to give you guys a bunch of different things to keep in mind when it comes to bat grip. So really there's three things that I think about. The first thing when you grab the bat, and the thing that coaches usually harp on the most, is how your knuckles are lined up. So what's the alignment of your hands and fingers in this regard right here? Okay, so most coaches will say that you have to line up the knocking knuckles, which would be these knuckles right here. All right, and if you watch most major league hitters, in my opinion, you're going to see a couple guys that line up those knuckles. One guy that comes to mind is Albert Pujols. You know, he kind of does this with his top arm to allow him to line up those knocking knuckles. But most of the players that I see and talk to at the major league level, you're going to see the top hand knocking knuckles are going to line up somewhere in between these knuckles and these knuckles. So usually somewhere in there. And you'll see a couple guys that are a little bit closer to their knocking knuckles, and you'll see some guys that are slightly closer to their big knuckles. But for me, if you're in this area, then you're good. It's comfortable, and you don't have to have any tension in your hands if you're somewhere in there. Now, sometimes to try to line up those knocking knuckles can be a little uncomfortable. It can cause you to create some tension. That's why when you see Albert Pujols do it, you know, he's able to obviously hit really, really well for a long time by doing it. But usually if you're somewhere in between there, it's a little bit less tension in your hands. You've got a little bit more freedom in your wrists. One thing, in my opinion, that you don't want to do is have your knocking knuckles on this side of the big knuckles on the bottom hand. Once I get crossed over here, now I really have tension, and I lose a little bit of my wrist action. I feel like I'm tense, and I'm not really able to be tension free. Okay, so with regard to how to line up the knuckles, I think putting these knocking knuckles somewhere in between here is fine for me, as long as there's no tension in the hands and the wrists. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, should I have the bat way out of my fingertips, deeper in my hands? What most coaches, again, are going to tell you is that you've got to have the bat out on the fingertips. For me, again, you're going to see a couple of hitters that are out on the fingertips. Albert Pujols is one that comes to mind again. If you watch his top hand, he really has the bat out on his fingertips. I think if you look at most major league hitters, what you're going to see is that the bat's going to rest somewhere kind of right across this area of the hand. So if you look at me here, I know it's a little bit tough to tell, but from this angle, the bat's going to kind of rest right there. And for me, that's plenty enough in your fingers, okay? What you don't want to do, especially with the top hand, is allow the bat to kind of get back here deep in your palm. When I get back here, I feel the same feeling as I do when I let this top hand, the knuckles, cross over here. I feel tension. I feel like I'm not able to be free with my hands and my wrists. So I think what you'll typically see is top hand is going to be somewhere around those pads right there on your hand. Bottom hand, you'll usually see players get the bat a little bit deeper in their hand. If you read like Ted Williams' book, he talks about being a little bit firmer with this bottom hand, and you'll usually see the bat just a little bit more in the palm of the hand, not way back near the thumb, but a little bit more in the palm of the hand, and then usually the top hand is a little bit more on those pads. Again, not everybody, but I'm just talking about when I talk with most hitters and most of the guys that I've played with or played against, that's typically what you're going to see. But again, the key is to kind of be tension free. I don't want to be choking the bat. The last thing is how much pressure or how tight do I want to hold the bat in my hands. Again, usually bottom hand will be a little bit tighter, a little bit of a firmer grip, and typically the top hand is a little bit looser. Now you'll see some guys again that are pretty loose in both hands, but typically I think there's a little bit more of a tighter grip in the bottom hand than in the top hand. I don't want to be choking the bat, especially with my top hand, because then I'm really adding to that tension again and I don't have a whole lot of freedom. So those are the three things to keep in mind. Again, there's no perfect grip. If there was a perfect grip, then you'd see everybody in the major leagues holding the bat the same way. But if you think about those three things, and just make sure, if you're somebody that's really crossing over and getting on this side of the knocking knuckles, if you're somebody that has the top hand really, the bat really deep in their top hand, or if you're somebody that's really choking the bat and has a really tight grip, especially with that top hand, those would be things that I'd watch out for. If you feel like you're struggling, maybe you want to correct some of those things. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Give it a thumbs up. Share the video with all your friends. I'd appreciate that. Check out the description box below. We've got a bunch of stuff in there for you guys to check out. We've got a deal going on with Plate Crate. We have a link down below to help support the channel on our Patreon site, and a bunch of other stuff for you guys to check out as well. And that's all I got. Thanks again. Good luck to you. I hope this helps, and we'll talk to you later.